Y'all, this story doesn't begin in a boxing ring, a recording studio, or even a courtroom packed with lawyers and flashing cameras. No, it begins somewhere far more unexpected. A quiet beach. The kind of place where people usually go to escape the noise of the world. Waves rolling in, sun reflecting off the water, phones out,
Sunglasses on.
and two people standing side by side like nothing in the world could possibly be wrong. But the moment those images started circulating online, something felt off. Because the two names in those photos weren't just random celebrities enjoying a peaceful vacation. They were Claressa Shields and Papoose, two names that lately keep finding their way into the same messy, complicated conversation. And the internet noticed immediately. Within minutes, the clips began spreading across social media like wildfire. Comment sections exploded. Fans started asking the same question over and over again. How did we even get here? Because this wasn't just about a beach trip. Behind those smiles and vacation vibes was a storm that had been building for months. Whispers of loyalty, betrayal, old relationships cracking apart, and new ones forming in the most unexpected ways. And the deeper people started digging, the stranger the story became. Because what looked like a simple getaway might actually be the latest chapter in one of the most confusing relationship sagas the internet has seen in a long time.
Starting a boxing ring, a music studio, or some courtroom drama, it starts on a beach. Cameras out, sunglasses on, waves crashing behind them, and two names that somehow keep popping up in the same messy conversation: Claressa Shields and Papoose.
Now listen closely, because after that birthday situation in New York, the conversation didn't just stay on social media. It started showing up everywhere. Real conversations, real whispers. People bringing it up in barbershops, at events, even in quiet side discussions like they were trying to piece together a puzzle no one fully understood yet. And the words people kept repeating sounded almost identical. Something's going on there. At first it was just speculation, a feeling, a rumor floating through the air with no clear proof attached to it. But then new footage started appearing online. Short clips, quick phone videos, the kind that pop up suddenly and make people stop scrolling. Those clips showed Claressa Shields and Papoose leaving New York together, not separately, together. And the next thing anyone knew, the two of them were no longer in the city at all. They had reportedly headed somewhere warmer, somewhere quiet, somewhere that looked nothing like the chaos New York is known for. Palm trees, ocean air, a calm beach setting that looked more like a private escape than a random trip. But the moment those videos started circulating online, the internet did what it always does. It got louder. Comments multiplied. The theories started stacking on top of each other. People began replaying every frame, every movement, every small interaction in those clips, trying to figure out what this really meant. Because by that point, it didn't feel like coincidence anymore. From where I'm standing, all I could really do was watch the situation unfold in real time. And the more pieces that surfaced, the clearer one thing became: this story wasn't fading away anytime soon. If anything, it looked like it was picking up speed. Now maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a perfectly normal explanation for all of it. Maybe it's just timing, coincidence, two people crossing paths while the internet fills in the blanks. That does happen sometimes. But let's be honest for a second. When two well-known names suddenly appear together in vacation footage, right after a storm of conversations, rumors, and that whole New York situation, people aren't just going to ignore it. That's not how the internet works. The moment those clips surfaced, the dots started getting connected almost instantly. And whether those connections are fair or completely off the mark doesn't really stop the speculation. Once the public starts building a narrative, it takes on a life of its own. Because now it's not just a few quiet whispers anymore. It's thousands of eyes watching every detail, every clip, every small interaction between them. People replaying the footage, analyzing body language, trying to figure out what's really happening behind the scenes. And the truth is, once a story reaches that point, it becomes almost impossible to slow down. Whether there's something real behind it or not, the conversation has already started moving. What's good, Share a Dare family? If you're new to the channel, welcome, because this right here is where we slow things down and look past those quick viral clips everyone else is rushing to post. Around here, we don't just react to headlines, we break the entire story apart piece by piece. This is the place where we step back and really examine what's happening behind the scenes. The small details, the strange timing, the little moments people keep whispering about but never fully explain. Because when it comes to celebrity drama, the truth almost never sits on the surface. It hides in the behavior, the patterns, the clips that appear for a few seconds and then disappear before most people even notice them. And that's exactly what we focus on here. We take those moments, line them up, and start asking the questions most people are already thinking but don't always say out loud. What actually happened? Why did it happen now? And what could be unfolding behind the cameras while everyone online argues about the surface-level story? So if you like going deeper than the headlines, if you enjoy unpacking the bigger picture behind all this celebrity chaos, you're definitely in the right place. Because tonight's story might be one of the most confusing situations people have been trying to figure out lately. If you enjoy real conversations, honest breakdowns, boxing talk, hip-hop culture, and commentary that actually digs beneath the surface of these headlines, then you're definitely in the right place. This channel is built for people who don't just want the quick viral clip. You want the full picture, the context, the patterns, and the deeper story behind what everyone else is talking about. So if that sounds like your kind of content, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you're tapped in for the next breakdowns. It really helps push these conversations out to more people who are watching this whole situation unfold. Also, share this video with someone else who follows boxing, hip-hop culture, or celebrity drama like this. Because chances are, they've probably been hearing the same rumors and seeing the same clips floating around lately. And most importantly, I want to hear your thoughts. Drop your perspective down in the comments. What do you think is really going on here? Are people reading too much into these moments? Or do you think there's more happening behind the scenes than anyone wants to admit? Because one thing is becoming clear with every new clip that surfaces. This situation is only getting louder by the day. Alright, now let's slow things down for a moment and really set the stage, because the timeline here matters more than people think. From what's been surfacing in these newer clips, Claressa Shields and Papoose were reportedly seen leaving New York together not long after his birthday celebration wrapped up. That alone raised a few eyebrows. But then the story took another turn. More footage started appearing. Suddenly there were clips of the two of them somewhere far from the city, somewhere warm, quiet, almost peaceful. Palm trees, ocean air, sunlight bouncing off the water. The kind of setting that looks like a beach escape, not a quick business trip. In the videos, they're smiling, filming little moments, capturing the scenery like they're documenting a getaway. And to a lot of people watching those clips, it definitely gives off romantic vacation energy. But here's where things start to split. Because depending on who you ask, people are interpreting this situation in completely different ways. Some viewers look at the footage and say it simply looks like love, two people spending time together and living their lives. Others frame it as loyalty, saying there might be history or deeper connections behind what we're seeing. Then there's a third group who sees something else entirely. And the reason their perspective keeps gaining traction comes down to one detail that refuses to go away. The fact that Papoose is still legally married. That one piece of information has made the entire situation feel heavier for a lot of people watching from the outside. Because once that fact gets mentioned, the conversation instantly shifts from vacation clips to something much more complicated. One voice speaking on the situation didn't sugarcoat it at all. They said it plainly, "This is a married man she's spending on." I understand people out here are pushing this adulterous relationship. They want everyone to normalize it. They want us to ignore the fact that legally he's still married. Legally, he is not single, and the whole thing just looks bad. And once that statement started circulating online, the volume of the discussion shot up immediately. Because suddenly people weren't just talking about beach videos anymore. They were arguing about morality, loyalty, and public image. But the conversation didn't stop there. Another thing people keep bringing up is how openly this whole vacation appears to be playing out online. The clips, the laughter, the beachside footage, the phones recording everything like it's meant to be seen. For some viewers, once moments like that get posted so publicly, it stops feeling like a quiet private relationship and starts looking more like a public spectacle. One reaction to the footage captured that frustration perfectly. They said, "People think this is a flex. They think it's impressive to spend money on a married man. They think it's a flex that she's showing all of this publicly." I honestly can't believe it. But at the same time I can, because people are getting mad at us just for covering it. Folks are really in their feelings, calling us haters when we're just pointing out what's right in front of everybody. And hearing that perspective really shows why this entire situation has people arguing from every direction right now. Because depending on who you talk to, the same story looks completely different. Some people see a successful woman living freely, traveling, enjoying life, and standing beside the man she chooses without worrying about public opinion. But others keep insisting that the bigger picture still matters, especially if legal marriage is still part of the equation. That same voice kept pushing the point even further, saying, "And the wild part is people are actually cheering for this adulterous situation. Nobody should act like she's some innocent little girl who doesn't understand what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing, and she's documenting it, putting it on camera. So don't try to manipulate us and pretend we're not seeing what we're clearly seeing." And the moment that line started circulating across social media, comment sections didn't just react. They erupted into full-blown debates.
Might be the least income making person that I've ever been with. Ever. Everybody included. Yeah. Shout out. Shout out to everybody that's good. He's not. I don't know what to tell y'all. And that's it, and that's all. And I'm done. I'm done on that topic. Took me long enough, but I'm done. Whenever you're ready, the papers are there. I don't want anything, nothing, no things. I don't have anything that belongs to anybody. I would like my jewelry. I would like it. Could you go pick up my jewelry from out of the pawn shop? Could you go pick it up? Should I, if y'all need me to, because as soon as motherfuckers start lying, I'm going to start dropping receipts. Why is my jewelry not in my jewelry box and it left out of here the last time we was here?
Now this is where the situation starts getting even more.
Now this is where the entire situation starts to get a lot more complicated. Because while Claressa, Shields, and Papoose are out there posting beach clips, smiling for the camera, enjoying ocean views and vacation moments, Remy Ma has been moving in a completely different way online. And a lot of people watching closely don't believe that shift in timing is random at all. Over on TikTok, Remy has been reposting old clips and messages where she openly criticizes Papoose for delaying their divorce. In those posts, she claims he hasn't hired a lawyer yet and hasn't signed the paperwork that would officially finalize their separation. Now here's where things get interesting. Those clips she's sharing again aren't brand new. Some of them actually surfaced last year. But recently, they've started appearing all over again right around the time of Papoose's birthday and the days immediately after. And according to what people online are noticing, that timing is exactly why the conversation keeps heating up. You've got some commenters saying they're tired of seeing the same old footage being recycled. But at the same time, people are also pointing out something important. Those clips wouldn't keep resurfacing if Remy herself wasn't reposting them and pushing them back into the spotlight. When a message gets repeated like that, publicly, and during a moment when everyone is already watching closely, it naturally raises questions. Because repetition changes the energy of a story. Those reposts shifted the focus almost instantly. Suddenly people weren't just watching vacation clips anymore. Now they were going back to something much bigger, the unfinished divorce. And once that piece of the puzzle came back into the conversation, People started asking one very simple question. If everything is truly over, why hasn't the paperwork been finalized yet? The moment that question started circulating online, the speculation exploded almost overnight.
Yo. Fuck Curtis Jack. That's what came to mind soon as I heard the track. Ball spitting lyrical.
And then the interviews came into the picture.
And then the interviews entered the picture, and that's when the story moved from simple speculation into something much bigger. Recently, Remy Ma has sat down for a few interviews where she addresses the situation directly. What surprised a lot of people wasn't just what she said, it was how she said it. Her tone didn't sound angry. It didn't sound chaotic or emotional. Instead, she came across calm, almost relaxed, but at the same time extremely direct about her side of the story. When people started watching those clips closely, it felt less like someone trying to create drama and more like someone calmly laying out their version of events. And that kind of honesty caught a lot of attention. Many viewers said they were surprised by how unbothered she appeared while discussing details that make the situation sound far more complicated than most people first realized. No raised voice. No obvious frustration. Just a steady explanation of how she sees everything playing out. But once you zoom out and look at the bigger timeline, you start to understand why the conversation keeps getting louder. Think about everything happening at once. You've got the beach vacation clips circulating everywhere. You've got the unfinished divorce still hanging in the background. And now you have interviews where Remy speaks openly about the situation without holding anything back. When all those pieces land at the same time, people naturally start connecting dots and building their own theories about what's really happening behind the scenes. And the more you listen to the conversations online, the more you realize people are viewing those beach clips from completely different angles. Some viewers believe the vacation footage is a power move, a display of confidence, happiness, and the message that they're going to live their lives regardless of public criticism. But another group sees something else entirely. According to some people following the story, those vacation posts might also be drawing attention away from the legal reality of the situation, because on paper, the marriage between Remy Ma and Papoose technically still exists. And then there's a third perspective that keeps coming up in discussions. Some people believe this entire situation could become even more explosive if the divorce process continues dragging out without any resolution. One phrase that keeps appearing in conversations over and over again is this: "They're there for a good time, not a long time." That line keeps circulating because it raises a question many people are quietly thinking about. What happens after the headlines fade and real life keeps moving forward? And that question becomes even louder when you remember another statement that has been floating around discussions for months now. One comment people keep repeating says this: "God didn't bless you with a married man." Now, whether someone agrees with that sentiment or not, the fact that it keeps resurfacing shows just how emotional and personal this conversation has become for people watching from the outside.
Because when we step back and really look at everything happening, this isn't just a...
Because when you step back and really take in everything happening right now, this clearly isn't a quiet situation unfolding behind closed doors anymore. What we're witnessing is a full-blown public storyline playing out in real time. Social media posts, interviews, resurfaced clips, beach footage that keeps circulating over and over again. Every single piece adds fuel to the fire. The internet doesn't let anything breathe. The moment a new video drops, people analyze it frame by frame. A repost appears, and suddenly another wave of theories explodes across comment sections. Interviews get clipped, remixed, and spread everywhere, and before you know it, the entire conversation is louder than it was the day before. This is how viral celebrity drama grows. It builds layer by layer until the story feels impossible to ignore. Right now you've got beach vacation footage that people keep replaying, an unfinished divorce that refuses to disappear from the conversation, and interviews that added even more tension to the narrative. When all of those pieces collide at the same time, speculation spreads fast and people start connecting dots whether they're accurate or not. That's exactly where things stand now. So the real question comes back to you. After everything we've just looked at, the vacation clips, the resurfaced posts, the interviews, and the legal situation still hanging in the background, what do you actually think is happening here? Is this just two adults living their lives while the internet exaggerates every detail? Or is there a much bigger story unfolding behind the scenes that hasn't fully surfaced yet? Drop your honest take in the comments, because these debates are getting intense. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who follows boxing, hip-hop, or celebrity news. Trust me, this story is far from finished, and the next twist could appear at any moment.